Everybody, we're going to go over our Forex trades for today, Wednesday, July 23rd. Another pretty slow day here in the middle of summer, the doldrums of summer, if you want to call it doldrums, as far as finance and the life of Wall Street is concerned. Obviously, huge vacation time, especially the last couple weeks of July and the first couple weeks of August. But we managed to scrape some out. We had 3 trades, made on 2, lost on 1, picked up 21 pips in between the 3. Looked to shut it down early. Even equity trading, slow as could be, although we did pretty well with it. Shutting everything down early, especially if you start off decent. You just want to lock it in and move on to the next day, or go to the beach, or go to the golf course, or whatever. But we'll get to it. We had 3. There was not much news to really talk about. Last overnight, the UK released their equivalent of the Fed minutes, so basically of their last meeting, and they're singing the same tune as Janet Yellen in her testimony last week about wages, and the wages aren't increasing fast enough, although unemployment's coming down. Yada yada yada. It's all the central bankers are all sounding the same. The only other news story was really ECB, Mario Draghi. The ECB, they have been, as far as the ECB or the European Union, there's whatever 12 countries or so, they've been putting off doing any QE. Their interest rates are extremely low levels. They did go to a negative interest rate on bank deposits, not for individual people, but for deposits that are held, the ECB holds, or I should say banks hold at the ECB. But that's really not kicking in as far as it's not kicking in for the economy yet. But it's only been that measure has only been about a month or so, 5 or 6 weeks. Although the article was, or the analyst was saying, Mario Draghi's hands might be, the world might be pushing his hands to start a QE policy, even though the U.S. is talking about, that our QE might be finished sometime in October, winding down. That one of their reasons why the euro has remained relatively strong compared to the U.S. dollar and Japanese yen. If they start a QE, it's going to weaken their currency. I don't know if Mario Draghi is going to give in to the pressure, though. I mean, why should he? If the world is stabilized, which it definitely has, and the European Union economy doesn't weaken, to a point that more measures need to be taken, because you really can't lower interest rates much more. If that doesn't happen, why do a QE? Let the rest of the world, stop, or let the European Union economy get extremely weak, where they need to step in and do measures like a QE, or let the rest of the world's economy start to get weak again. From its stabilized area of really no growth, but at least it's not weakening. If the world economy starts to weaken, the ECB might be forced to do quantitative easing. But if I was Mario Draghi, I wouldn't do it. He's really the last holdout on it, and I'd stick to my guns unless the measures really call for it. I would just stick to it. Anyway, that's really the only news that was out there. Nothing really that's going to move markets for the most part. Like I said, we had 3 trades, pulled out 21, exactly 21 pips. We'll go over them. First trade you're looking at here is Euro Australian dollar. We got signal to go long, 1.43282. Pretty much an easy trade. It had this big downdraft. You see, it's in a downtrend. So if you're going to go long, obviously the preferred side is to go short. We just didn't get a signal. We get a signal to go long, so you go long, you look to scalp it, make, 10, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 pips, something like that. We picked up 15.5 pips. It's a no-brainer. If this long works out, it's going to approach these bottoms here from where it broke down. And that's what it did. We left some on the table, not a whole lot, maybe 6 or 7 pips. It approached it, pulled in a little, approached it again, got right there as you see, tries to break it, and then ultimately failed. So, good trade overall, all in all. Next trade, this was a difficult trade. Next trade, US dollar, Japanese yen. We're in it. It looked like it could potentially run here. Totally, we bought the top of this little area. I mean, I thought we were going to at least run up here or higher, you know, be able to pick up a quick scalp of 6-7 pips. It didn't work out, but we have our stops in. You know, our stops were down here if it takes out the bottoms in this area here, this 101.30 or even a little bit lower. Never took it out. As you can see, it didn't even, I mean, it approached it on a blip here. You know, this is a 30-minute chart, so maybe a few minutes it approached it, but buyer stepped in and bounced it back. You know, you can see all the support here. Basically, if it breaks that, you got to get out. You take your lumps. But it held overnight. This was overnight. This morning, it's popping. We make a judgment call to get out with almost a push. We lose 0.8 pips. Not a big deal at all. And we're lucky, you know, we viewed it as being lucky that we got out with almost a push on the trade. And the last one is pound to the Swiss franc. Got a signal to go long here, 1.53717. You know, the signal is correlating with these bottoms, sort of these tops. I mean, maybe it's a little early on these tops. And as you see here, it holds those tops, these bottoms here from this morning, 9 o'clock, it holds. You know, this was around 8:30 or so, 8 o'clock we got the signal. It worked out though, you know, it held. Maybe we were a little early, you know, we could have been able to buy it a little bit lower. But as it turned out, we picked it up 1.53717. And on the bounce back to this level here, which was a no-brainer to get out, we picked up 6.3 pips. You know, was it worth it? Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. It would have been worth it. We started putting the position on down here and just averaged our way in, so it kind of hurt us a little bit as far as, because we don't average on a way in, we'll average on a way up. But she worked out okay, you know, and she did pop higher, you know, another 2 or 3 or 4 pips from where we got out. But, you know, we'll take it. You're going to have to sell into the strength, you know, and move on. It wasn't worth trying to hold because it wasn't like it's breaking out of a big area to try to piece it out and, you know, hold and piece it out. So that's it. 3 trades, picked up 21 pips. We'll take it. Move on till tomorrow. If you're still trading now, you know, good luck. If you're waiting for signals, you know, if one comes out, they'll be coming your way. All right, have a great rest of your day.